was in Pescadero one day, and we didn't have a lot of wind, and the waves were really large, which is unusual to have that combination of low wind and big waves. And I did a small painting, and I just had such a feeling about the place. I came back to the studio, and I said, this has got to be a big painting, because a little painting doesn't really communicate the ocean's power and beauty. When you stare at a place for like 3 hours, a lot of it comes into your memory. It's the feel of the wind, and it's the smell of the air, and you try to communicate that when you're back in the studio working.
This is my 38th art show.
38?
38.
Oh my gosh.
We've come a long way, baby. No, it's why I'm here today. It becomes a habit with me, and I think it becomes a habit with most of the citizens in Saratoga, understanding that this is all for the good of the community.
I have good people who are managing very well to bring off a great art show this year.
Yeah, maybe you just give a little background, as you know it, about the art show. And did you ever think you'd be walking around here as the head honcho?
Well, I knew that eventually everyone gets a turn, and this year it's my turn.
And so have you instigated anything differently to something you thought of a few years?
This year we've had the food trucks. In fact, I brought back some sushi this year for people in this cash booth. First art show I went to was over in the village. I was not a Rotarian. It was about 30 years ago, and I thought it was a great event. And I returned, then moved it over here, became bigger, juried. Got some very accomplished artists here. So I knew we were going to grow, but I didn't know that we were going to be this good.
Saratoga Rotarians are to be commended for all the work they've done for years and years and years in helping to make this one of the most successful art shows west of the Mississippi.
You know, one of the things that the artists seem to think makes this one of the best art shows is that the Rotary Club does such a spectacular job of supporting the artists. And so, you know, in the morning we give them coffee and donuts or sweets and orange juice, and then we go around with water in the midday, and then by lunch. And we really
Saratoga Rotary shows they really care.
They more so than other art shows.
We've had several disasters because of the wind coming through.
Well, I woke up at 5:45. My name is Phil Young. I'm in the Rotary.
Yes.
We got here at 6 o'clock, and I'd say, 10% of the tents were over.
Oh, my gosh.
Some of the jewelry was down, the glass was broken, so
oh, gosh.
A whole bunch of us got together and decided to help the people put up their tents. So it worked out all right. I'm glad I came early.
And I'm glad, too.
And
we need loyal people like this. Well, that's what Rotary is, yeah. Loyal people.
I felt good about doing it, and I know they felt good about getting it done. So.
Tell us how you got yourself so immersed and do such beautiful work that you do.
First of all, I think I got it from my father, because when I was a little boy, I discovered his enlarger and 3 little plates. They were each a different color, and when I put them together, it was a color photograph. I was an IBM development manager.
Oh, okay, IBM development manager. That's a pretty good
my last assignment was in England.
Uh-huh.
So we lived there for 2 years, and I said, now how can I ever beat this? I can't.
You can't.
So I decided to see if I could make it in selling photos. Since I'd done it all my life, and I love to travel, and it's working.
It's high-fire ceramics with some stain.
And how long did it take to construct that?
About 2 months.
I'm Russell Perry. I am in charge of the wine tasting for the Saratoga Rotary Art Show this year, 2013. We have several wineries that we represent here today. We're pouring wine, mostly local wine. We have some sparkling wines, Rotary Estate, Domaine Chandon Etoile. We also have Catherine Kennedy Cabernet, which is estate grown and produced in Saratoga. We have House Family Winery and Mountain Winery, which are also produced and made in Saratoga.
Most people don't realize that the wine is made in Saratoga.
That's right.
That's important.
And it was one of the original wine country areas. So where the old Paul Masson Vineyard was is now Mountain Winery and House Family Winery.
Well, I'm so glad everybody's here today, first of all. And second of all, we always like to try and do what we can to introduce all the art to our attendees. And so in just a few minutes, we're going to be having an art as fashion show. And I'm wearing a hat from one of our artists in booth 100. I'm carrying products from another artist. And I'm on my way to, so at 12:20, we're going to be having our fashion show on the main stage and showing off some of the fabulous things that you can buy today at the Saratoga Rotary Art Show.
This looks like a nice